I didn't lose my life savings to a market crash or bad luck. I lost it to a forged signature and a midnight text that said, "Everything is collapsing. We need to talk before he finds out." When the bank teller whispered that the account was gone, not frozen, gone, my wife answered my panicked call with 5 words that made my stomach drop: "Michael, you need to come home. Now." She didn't sound worried. She sounded like someone who'd been caught. By the time I found the second passport hidden in her closet, I realized I hadn't just lost my money. I'd been married to a stranger for 23 years. The bank teller's fingers freeze over her keyboard. She's young, maybe 25, with careful makeup and a name tag that says Jessica. She looks at the screen, then at me, then back at the screen. Her professional smile cracks. "Mr. Archer, I need to get my manager." "Why? Is there a problem with the withdrawal?" She doesn't answer. She just walks away, her heels clicking too fast across the marble floor. My chest tightens. I'm standing in the middle of the First National Bank lobby on a Tuesday morning, trying to withdraw $10,000 for our roof repair. The account should have $200,000 in it. Our entire life savings, invested in what Caroline called the safest bond fund in America. A man in a charcoal suit approaches. His face is professionally sympathetic, the expression undertakers use. "Mr. Archer, I'm branch manager Phillips. Could you step into my office? Just tell me what's wrong." He glances around at the other customers. "Please. This way." Inside his office, he closes the door and sits behind his desk. He doesn't offer me a chair. He slides a single document across the polished wood. The investment account linked to Brightwater Investment Partners no longer exists in our system. The words hit me like cold water. "What do you mean it doesn't exist?" "The company shut down overnight. The funds were transferred out yesterday afternoon at 4:17 p.m. He taps the document. "According to our records, the transfer was properly authorized." My hands start shaking. I look at the paper. Transfer amount, $200,000. Destination account, a string of numbers I don't recognize. And at the bottom, clear as day, a signature authorizing the move. But it's not my signature. I pull out my phone. My fingers are numb. I dial Caroline. She answers before the first ring finishes. "Michael." Her voice is tight. "Wrong. You need to come home. Now." I broke 3 traffic laws getting home. My mind is spinning. $200,000. Gone. 23 years of marriage. 15 years of careful saving. Our daughter's college fund. Our retirement. Everything we built, brick by brick, sacrifice by sacrifice. Caroline is waiting on the front porch. She's wearing her blue cardigan, the one she pulls on when she's anxious. Her arms are wrapped around herself like she's holding herself together. When I get out of the car, she steps forward. "Before you say anything, the money is safe." I stare at her. "The bank says it's gone." "The bank is wrong." Her voice is firm but her eyes are darting. "Brightwater is restructuring. It's temporary. Adrian sent an email this morning explaining everything. The funds are protected. Adrian Cole." The CEO with the expensive suit and the confident handshake who convinced us 6 months ago that bond funds were safer than savings accounts. The man Caroline met with twice a week to review our portfolio. "Let me see the email." She hesitates. Just a fraction of a second, but I caught it. "It's on my laptop. I'll forward it to you." "Forward it now." "Michael, you're being paranoid. Our life savings just disappeared and you're telling me I'm paranoid?" She flinches. "It didn't disappear. It's being moved to a more secure account. This is standard procedure during restructuring. But her hands are shaking. And she won't look me in the eye. And somewhere deep in my gut, a voice is screaming that my wife is lying to me. That night I couldn't sleep. I lie next to Caroline, listening to her breathe, and every breath sounds like a lie. At midnight I slip out of bed and go to my office. I close the door and open my laptop. I type Brightwater Investment Partners into the search bar. The first result makes my heart stop. Breaking, investment CEO missing, millions unaccounted for. The article is 6 hours old. CEO Adrian Cole disappeared yesterday afternoon. Federal regulators have opened an investigation into fraud allegations. Investors are reporting they cannot access their accounts. The office is abandoned. I read it 3 times. My hands are numb. Then I remember the document from the bank. I pull it from my briefcase. Transfer authorization form. I stare at the signature at the bottom. It's not mine. The loops are wrong. The pressure is wrong. But it's not a random forgery. It's too close. Too practiced. Like someone who'd watched me sign things 1,000 times and learned to copy it. I look at it for a full minute before I see what I missed. It's not trying to be my signature. It is someone's signature. Clean. Confidence. Deliberate. Caroline's. My wife authorized the transfer of our entire life savings without telling me. Without asking. Without hesitation. I sit in the dark office, staring at her handwriting, and realize I don't know the woman sleeping in my bed. At 2 a.m., Caroline's phone buzzes on her nightstand. Once. Twice. 3 times in rapid succession. She jerks awake, grabs it, and leaves the bedroom. I hear the bathroom door close. The lock click. I lie perfectly still, my heart hammering. Light glows under the bathroom door. I hear her voice, low and urgent, but can't make out words. 1 minute passes. 2. Then silence. The toilet flushes. Water runs. When she opens the door, I'm standing in the hallway. She jumps, her hand flying to her chest. Jesus, Michael. Who were you talking to? No one. I was using the bathroom. At 2 in the morning. For 5 minutes. I have insomnia. She pushes past me toward the bedroom. Go back to sleep. But I saw her face in that half-second before she masked it. Not an annoyance. Not confusion. Fear. I wait until she's back in bed. Until her breathing evens out. Then I reach across the nightstand and pick up her phone. The screen lights up. 3 unread messages from a contact saved as Adrian Cole. 2:01 a.m., we need to talk. 2:01 a.m., everything is collapsing. 2:02 a.m., we need to talk before he finds out. My hands are shaking so badly I almost dropped the phone. I set it back on the nightstand exactly as I found it. Caroline stirs but doesn't wake. I lie there in the dark, staring at the ceiling, and feel my entire world crumbling like a sandcastle hit by a wave. Morning takes forever to come. I pretend to sleep while Caroline showers. When she leaves for her morning walk, I grab my keys and drive downtown. The address on the Brightwater documents leads to a glass tower in the financial district. I take the elevator to the 24th floor. My reflection in the mirrored walls looks like a stranger. Hollow eyes. Gray skin. The elevator dings. The doors open. The hallway is silent. Empty. Suite 2400 is at the end. The door is unlocked. Inside, the office has been stripped. No furniture. No computers. No files. Just carpet with darker squares where desks used to sit and walls with holes where monitors were mounted. The windows look out over the city, and the view is beautiful and cruel. This isn't restructuring. This is abandonment. I'm turning to leave when a voice stops me. Sir. An elderly security guard stands in the doorway. His name tag says Harold. He's holding a clipboard and looking at me with sad, knowing eyes like a doctor about to deliver bad news. You heard about the investment company? I nod. My throat is too tight to speak. Figured. He shifts his weight. You're the fourth person today. They all got the same look you do. He pauses. Sir, is your wife Caroline Archer? The blood drains from my face. How do you know my wife? Harold pulls out his phone. His hands are weathered, spotted with age. I've been working security in this building for 32 years. I've seen a lot. But this. He taps the screen. You might want to see this. He hands me the phone. The video is grainy black and white security footage. Timestamp, 3 weeks ago, 11:47 p.m. The hallway outside suite 2400. The elevator doors open. 2 people step out. Caroline. And Adrian Cole. They're standing close. Too close. Caroline is wearing the red dress I bought her for our anniversary. Adrian says something and she laughs, touching his arm. Intimate. Familiar. Then he leans in. And kisses her. Not a friendly peck. A real kiss. Deep and deliberate. Her hand moves to the back of his neck, pulling him closer. They stand there for 10 seconds that feel like 10 hours. Then they break apart, and Adrian swipes a keycard. The office door opens. They disappear inside. The timestamp shows they don't leave for 43 minutes. I watched the video 3 times. Each time hoping I'm seeing it wrong. Each time seeing it exactly the same. Harold watches me with quiet pity. I'm sorry, sir. I thought you should know. They came here late at night 5, maybe 6 times over the past 2 months. Always looked like they were in a hurry. My voice doesn't sound like mine. Can you send me this? Already did. To the FBI. He takes the phone back. The agent came by yesterday, took all the footage. But I kept a copy. For people like you. I don't remember walking back to my car. Don't remember the drive home. I just know that when I pull into the driveway, I'm gripping the steering wheel so hard my hands ache. My marriage and my money. Both gone. Both lies. Both lost to the same man. Caroline is in the kitchen when I walk in. She's making coffee, humming softly. She smiles when she sees me, but it dies when she sees my face. Michael? What happened? I went to the Brightwater office. Her smile disappears completely. Why would you do that? It's empty, Caroline. Stripped. Abandoned. They're relocating. Adrian mentioned. When did Adrian mention it? She freezes. Coffee drips from the pot onto the counter. What? When did you last talk to Adrian? A few days ago. He called to update me on the restructuring. I pull out my phone. I've spent the last 2 hours at a coffee shop downloading our bank statements for the past year. I spread them across the kitchen counter. The $200,000 wasn't invested all at once. It was moved in pieces. Small transfers over 6 months. 5,000 here. 10,000 there. 30,000 in March. I point to the authorization signatures. Each one required approval. The investment strategy required multiple transfers. Adrian explained that splitting the investment would. Your approval, Caroline. Not mine. I tapped the signatures. Every single transfer was authorized by you. Her face goes white. She backs away from the counter like the papers might burn her. I was helping. Adrian said the fund needed capital in stages and if we got in early we'd see better returns. Better returns. I laugh, and it sounds broken. Is that what he called it? Michael, you're not understanding. I understand perfectly. I pull up the security footage on my phone. I understand that you and Adrian met at his office. Late at night. Multiple times. I turn the phone toward her. She watches the video. Watch herself kiss another man. When it ends, she's crying. It's not what you think. Then what is it, Caroline? Explain it to me. She sinks into a chair, her whole body shaking. He made me feel important. Like I mattered. Like I was more than just someone's wife. You are my wife. I know. She's sobbing now, mascara running down her face. I know and I'm sorry and I was going to end it but then the fund started having problems and Adrian said if we could just keep investors confident for a few more months everything would stabilize. My stomach turns. Keep investors confident. Caroline, did you recruit other people? She won't look at me. Caroline. 5 people, she whispers. I told 5 friends about Brightwater. I thought I was helping them. Jesus Christ. Adrian promised it would all work out. He said it would all be ours. The words hang in the air. Ours. Not ours as in Michael and Caroline. Ours as in Caroline and Adrian. My wife wasn't just having an affair. She was planning a future with him. Built on our money. Built on lies. The knock on the door comes at 7 that evening. I open it to find a woman I've never seen before. She's in her 50s, wearing a sharp business suit and holding a leather folder. Her face is hard with barely controlled rage. Michael Archer. Yes. My name is Olivia Barrett. She steps inside without waiting for an invitation. I lost $500,000 in the same bond fund your wife told me was safe. Caroline appears in the hallway. When she sees Olivia, she goes rigid. You. Olivia's voice could cut glass. 8 months ago you called me. Said Brightwater was the best investment you'd ever made. You gave me Adrian's personal number. You said he was a genius. Olivia, I didn't know. You didn't know. Olivia stalks toward her. You didn't know that Adrian Cole isn't even his real name? That the company collapsed twice before in Dallas and Atlanta under different names? That this is the 3rd time he's run this exact scam? I feel the room tilt. What? Olivia opens her folder and pulls out documents. News articles. Police reports. Nathan Pierce. That's his real name. He's wanted in 3 states for investment fraud. The pattern is always the same. Recruit small investors. Promise safe returns. Move their money offshore. Disappear. She throws the papers on the coffee table. They scatter like accusations. My brother Elias used to investigate financial crimes. He found all this in 6 hours. Olivia looks at Caroline with pure contempt. You want me to believe you didn't know? You were sleeping with him. Caroline crumbles into the couch, her face in her hands. I thought it was real. I thought he loved me. He loved your husband's money. And mine. And 12 other families who are about to lose everything. I picked up the articles. Nathan Pierce. Adrian Cole. Same face. Same smile. The same lies across 3 different states, 8 different companies, and 17 years of fraud. How did you find us? I ask. Transfer records. Everyone who invested went through the same bank. I tracked down the authorization signatures. Olivia looks at Caroline. Your name is on everything. 3 days later I'm sitting in a coffee shop with Elias Barrett. He's younger than his sister, maybe 45, with sharp eyes and the wary look of someone who's seen too much. He slides a folder across the table. "Your wife isn't just an investor, Michael." "What do you mean?" He opens his laptop and turns it toward me. On the screen are corporate registration documents for Brightwater Investment Partners. Filed 7 months ago. There, in black and white. Caroline Archer, managing partner. That's impossible. Is it? Elias pulls up more documents. Her name is on the incorporation papers. Bank authorizations. The office lease. Tax filings. She said Adrian asked her to invest. He asked her to be part of it. Elias taps the screen. Small partners like her usually don't realize they're part of a fraud. They think they're building something legitimate. But legally, she's liable for everything. The coffee in my stomach turns to acid. What kind of liability? Federal wire fraud. Money laundering. Conspiracy. He meets my eyes. If investigators follow the money trail, your wife is looking at 10 to 15 years in prison. She didn't know it was a scam. Can you prove that? He leans back. Because from where the FBI will be sitting, she recruited investors, authorized transfers, and was planning to flee the country with the CEO. That doesn't look like an innocent victim. Flee the country. My voice cracks. Elias pulls out his phone. Your wife made 3 calls to a travel agency last week. She inquired about flights to Panama. One-way tickets. No return date. The room spins. I'm sorry, Michael. I know this is hard. But your wife wasn't just having an affair. She was preparing to disappear. That night the news breaks. Every channel. Every website. CEO of collapsed investment firm flees country. $60 million missing. Adrian Cole, real name Nathan Pierce. Last seen boarding a flight to Panama City. The television shows his photo. That confident smile. Caroline sits on the couch, staring at the screen with dead eyes. When the reporter lists people connected to the company, her name appears in bold letters. Caroline Archer, managing partner. She drops her wine glass. It shatters on the hardwood floor, red liquid spreading like blood. They think I'm part of this. Are you? She looks at me and her face crumbles. I loved him, Michael. I'm sorry but I did. He made me feel alive. Like I was special. And when he asked me to help with the company, I thought we were building something beautiful together. You're married to me. I know. She slides off the couch onto the floor, sitting in the broken glass and wine. I know, and I ruined everything. I destroyed our life. I destroyed you. She's crying so hard she can barely breathe. Part of me wants to comfort her. 23 years of marriage doesn't die in a day. But a bigger part of me just stands there, feeling nothing at all, and watches her fall apart. Because while she was falling in love with Nathan Pierce, I was working 60-hour weeks to save for our daughter's college fund. While she was signing away our life savings, I was planning our 25th anniversary trip. While she was booking one-way tickets to Panama, I was believing in our marriage. I don't hate her. I just don't recognize her anymore. The next morning I drove 3 hours to the city to see my sister Vanessa. She's a corporate attorney, famous for destroying opposing counsel with surgical precision. When I walk into her downtown office, she takes one look at my face and cancels her next 3 meetings. Tell me everything. I do. When I finish, she's quiet for a long time. Then she opens her laptop and starts typing with the focused intensity of a sniper lining up a shot. 10 minutes later she turns the screen toward me. If federal investigators follow the money trail, they're going to find Caroline's fingerprints on every single transaction. Authorizations. Transfers. Corporate documents. Investor recruitment. She's not just connected to this fraud, Michael. She's embedded in it. Can you help her? Vanessa looks at me like I've lost my mind. Help her. She bankrupted you. She had an affair. She helped orchestrate a $60 million fraud scheme. She says she didn't know. Ignorance isn't a defense. Not in federal court. She closes the laptop with a sharp click. You need to protect yourself. File for divorce immediately. Separate all remaining assets. Close joint accounts. Move your paycheck to a new bank. If you don't, her legal problems become your legal problems. I stare out the window at the city skyline. We've been married 23 years. And she's been planning to leave you for at least 3 months. Vanessa's voice softened slightly. I'm sorry, Michael. I know this is brutal. But you need to act fast. The FBI is already involved. When they come knocking, you need to be able to prove you weren't part of this. I wasn't. Then prove it. Legally. Now. When I get home that evening, Caroline's car is in the garage but the house is empty. Her purse is on the counter. Her phone is charging in the kitchen. But no Caroline. Then I hear water running upstairs. I climb the stairs slowly, each step feeling heavier than the last. The master bedroom door is open. Inside, Caroline's closet has been pulled apart. Clothes everywhere. Drawers hanging open like broken jaws. I step over a pile of shoes and see something I've never noticed before. A small safe built into the wall behind her shoe rack. The door is hanging open. Inside are things that don't belong to the woman I married. A passport with Caroline's photo but a different name, Claire Martin. 3 bank cards from international banks I've never heard of. A stack of cash in different currencies. Euros. Pounds. Pesos. And at the bottom, a printed e-ticket. Destination, Panama City departure, November 18th passenger, Claire Martin return, one way. I'm still holding the ticket when Caroline walks in from the bathroom. She's wearing a bathrobe, her hair wet. She sees what's in my hands and stops breathing. Michael. When were you going to tell me? I can explain. Explain what? That you have a fake passport. That you were planning to disappear in 2 days. My voice is rising and I can't stop it. Or were you just going to vanish and let me wake up one morning to an empty house? She starts crying but I'm done with tears. Adrian said after the fund collapsed we'd meet in Panama. He had new identities set up for both of us. We'd start over somewhere nobody could find us. And me? Our daughter. Your entire life. I thought. She can't finish. I thought you'd be better off without me. I dropped the ticket on the bed. The passport. The cash. All of it. You're right about that. The FBI arrives the next morning. 3 black SUVs. 6 agents in blue windbreakers. They have a warrant. Agent Laura Finch is the lead investigator, a woman in her 40s with kind eyes but a voice like steel. She sits at our kitchen table and lays out Caroline's options with the precision of a surgeon. We know you didn't orchestrate this, Mrs. Archer. Nathan Pierce has been running variations of this scam for 17 years. You're not the first person he manipulated and you won't be the last. She opens a folder. But manipulation doesn't erase legal liability. You signed documents. You recruited investors. You authorized transfers. That makes you criminally culpable. Caroline's voice is barely a whisper. I didn't know it was a fraud. But you knew something was wrong. Agent Finch slides photos across the table. The passport. The ticket. The cash. You were planning to flee the country with a fugitive. That's consciousness of guilt. What happened to me? That depends on you. Agent Finch leans forward. Nathan contacted you after the collapse. We've seen the messages. He wants to meet with you before he vanishes permanently. If you help us catch him, wear a wire, get him to confess, we can work with the prosecutor. And if I don't? If you run, you become the face of this fraud. Nathan's gone. The investors need someone to blame. That'll be you. She pauses. You'll be caught within 48 hours. And when you are, there's no deal. No negotiation. Just federal prison. Caroline looks at me. I don't look back. If I help you, will I go to prison? I can't make promises. That's up to the prosecutor. But cooperation looks a hell of a lot better than fleeing. Agent Finch's voice softens slightly. You made bad choices, Mrs. Archer. Now you have a chance to make one good one. Caroline decides to cooperate. Agent Finch sets up the operation within hours. Nathan contacted Caroline through an encrypted messaging app, suggesting one final meeting before disappearing for good. The FBI wants to use that meeting to record his confession. He trusts you, Agent Finch says. He thinks you're still on his side. That's our advantage. They fit Caroline with a wire so small it's invisible under her clothing. The meeting is set for Thursday afternoon at the Grandview Hotel downtown, the kind of place with marble floors and chandeliers that cost more than cars. Nathan booked a suite on the 20th floor. FBI agents will monitor from the adjacent room. The night before, Caroline sits at the kitchen table, staring at her hands. I'm scared. You should be. Michael, I know you hate me. But I need you to know I never wanted to hurt you. You just wanted to leave me. She flinches like I've slapped her. I wanted to feel alive again. Is that so terrible? Yes. I stand up. Yes, Caroline. When you destroy other people's lives to feel alive, that's terrible. Thursday afternoon I'm not allowed inside the hotel, but Agent Finch lets me listen from the FBI surveillance van parked across the street. I sit with headphones on, listening to my wife meet her lover one last time. The wire picks up everything. The door opened. Nathan's voice, smooth and confident. Claire. God, you look beautiful. Don't call me that. Why not? Caroline Archer is dead. Claire Martin is who you are now. Everything is falling apart, Nathan. The FBI came to my house. A pause. Footsteps. Did you tell them anything? No. But they know about Panama. They found the ticket. Another pause. Longer. In the van, Agent Finch tenses. He's suspicious, she mutters. Caroline, don't push too hard. But Nathan laughs. The sound comes through the wire like broken glass. They always find out eventually. That's why we planned this, remember? 2 more days and we're gone. New names. New life. No more pretending. I don't know if I can do this anymore. Caroline. His voice drops, becoming gentle. Manipulative. The voice of a man who's convinced 100 women to ruin themselves for him. We built this together. You and me. We knew from the beginning it would collapse. That's how these things work. People trusted us. People trusted their greed. His voice turns cold. They wanted easy money and they got what they deserved. The fund was always going to fail. It was designed to fail. That's the whole point. In the van I close my eyes. Agent Finch is scribbling notes. Another agent is marking timestamps. But Michael, Caroline's voice cracks. Michael is collateral damage. Like all the others. You think he'd have married you if you weren't convenient? If you hadn't made his life comfortable. Nathan's voice is pure poison. He doesn't see you, Caroline. Not like I do. With me, you're extraordinary. With him, you're just furniture. I'm gripping the armrest so hard my knuckles are white. The investors were just fuel for the machine, Nathan continues. Their money. Their dreams. Their retirement. Just fuel to keep us running until we could cash out and disappear. Agent Finch nods sharply. That's enough. Move in. 30 seconds later Nathan walks out of the hotel suite and finds 8 federal agents in the hallway. He tries to run but there's nowhere to go. They slam him against the wall, hands cuffed behind his back while he screams about lawyers and rights and mistakes. Caroline emerges from the suite, her face the color of paper. An agent removes the wire. She looks down at Nathan on the floor and says one word. Sorry. He spits at her feet. You stupid bitch. You think they're going to protect you? You're going to prison too. 2 agents drag him toward the elevator. His voice echoes down the hallway, screaming obscenities until the elevator doors close and cut him off mid-sentence. Caroline stands in the empty hallway, shaking. Agent Finch puts a hand on her shoulder. You did the right thing. Caroline just nods. But when she looks at me standing in the hotel lobby, I see something break in her eyes. The last piece of the woman she used to be, dying in real time. The arrest is national news within hours. Nathan Pierce, aka Adrian Cole, arrested in connection with $60 million investment fraud. Multiple charges: wire fraud, money laundering, conspiracy, racketeering. Caroline's cooperation is mentioned but not emphasized. The prosecutor offers her a deal 2 days later. Testify against Nathan. Provide evidence. Turn over all documents. In exchange, reduced charges. 3 years probation instead of 15 years in prison. She takes it. I file for divorce the same week. Vanessa handles the paperwork. Caroline doesn't fight it. She signs the papers in Vanessa's office without reading them, her hands shaking so badly she can barely hold the pen. I'm sorry, she says to me one last time. I know that doesn't fix anything, but I'm sorry. I don't respond. There's nothing left to say. The trial begins 4 months later. The courtroom is packed. 37 victims. Some lost their retirement. Some lost their children's college funds. One elderly couple lost the money they'd saved for medical treatments. One by one they testify, and with each story Nathan's smirk fades a little more. He sits at the defense table in an orange jumpsuit, no longer the confident CEO. Just a middle-aged con artist facing the consequences of 17 years of lies. When Caroline takes the stand, the courtroom goes silent. She tells everything. The affair. The manipulation. The promises Nathan made. How he convinced her the fund was legitimate. How she believed him because she wanted to believe someone found her valuable. The jury watches her cry, but their faces stay hard. Sympathy doesn't erase guilt. Nathan's attorney tries to break her. Mrs. Archer, isn't it true you knew the fund was fraudulent from the beginning? No. But you signed the corporate documents making yourself a partner. Nathan told me it was a formality. For tax purposes. And you believed him. I loved him. I believed everything. The attorney holds up the passport. You obtained a fake identity to flee the country. That's not the action of an innocent woman. Caroline's voice breaks. I was scared. Nathan said if I didn't come with him, I'd take the fall for everything. I see now he was manipulating me. But at the time, I thought I had no choice. The trial lasts 3 weeks. The jury deliberates for 4 hours. Guilty on all 14 counts. The judge sentences Nathan to 20 years in federal prison and orders full restitution to victims. But restitution is meaningless when the money is hidden in offshore accounts Nathan refuses to disclose. Caroline receives 3 years probation, 500 hours of community service, and a permanent felony record. She moves to Montana to live with her sister. Our daughter refuses to speak to her. The divorce is finalized on a cold Tuesday morning in March. 23 years dissolved in a 15-minute hearing. I walk out of the courthouse into bright sunshine and realize I'm free. Broke. Betrayed. Devastated. But free. 1 year later I'm standing on the porch of a small house I bought with what little savings survived the fraud. It's not much. 2 bedrooms. A tiny yard with grass that needs mowing. A mortgage that'll take me until retirement to pay off. But it's mine. Built on truth instead of lies. Our daughter Bailey goes to community college instead of the university she dreamed about. She works 20 hours a week at a coffee shop and studies accounting. She's angry but resilient. She doesn't talk about her mother. Sometimes she calls me late at night, voice tight with rage. I can't believe she did this to us. I know. Do you hate her? I think about that question a lot. No. Hate requires energy I don't have. I'm just trying to move forward. Bailey is quiet for a long time. Then, I love you, Dad. I love you too, sweetheart. I see Olivia Barrett sometimes. The investors formed a support group that meets monthly. 12 families who lost everything, sharing strategies for rebuilding. The money is gone but the community remains. Olivia recovered some of her losses through the restitution fund. Not much. Maybe 20 cents on the dollar. But something. How are you doing? She asked me at one meeting. Better than I was. That's all any of us can say. She smiles sadly. Better than we were. Elias still investigates financial fraud, now as a private consultant. He speaks at our meetings sometimes, teaching us to recognize red flags. High guaranteed returns. Pressure to invest quickly. Reluctance to provide documentation. All the signs we missed because we trusted the wrong people. Sometimes I passed the bank where Jessica the teller told me the account was gone. I remember standing there, holding that withdrawal slip, believing my life was stable. The building looks the same. Everything else is different. I'm different. I don't trust easily anymore. I read every document twice. I verify every signature. I keep my money in 3 different banks and check the balances weekly. Some people would call that paranoia. I call it survival. Vanessa tells me Caroline tried to contact me last month. A letter sent through her attorney. Vanessa didn't forward it. She asked if I wanted to read it. I said no. Whatever Caroline needs to say, I don't need to hear. That chapter is closed. The book is finished. I'm writing a new one now. Slower. Simpler. Smaller. But mine. Bailey graduates in 2 years. She's already applying for internships at accounting firms. She wants to become a forensic accountant, investigating fraud cases. Because of what happened to us? I ask. Because people need someone fighting for them. I've never been more proud. The support group meets tonight. We sit in a community center, drinking bad coffee and eating grocery store cookies. We share updates. Some have recovered financially. Others are still struggling. We all carry the same wound, just in different stages of healing. A new couple joins tonight. They lost their retirement to a cryptocurrency scam. They look shell-shocked, the way we all did in the beginning. Olivia brings them coffee. Elias gives them resources. We share our stories not to relive the pain but to show them survival is possible. This is recovery. Not dramatic. Not cinematic. Just small steps forward, one day at a time. When the meeting ends, I drive home through quiet streets. The house is dark. Empty. But not lonely. Just quiet. The sunset tonight is orange and purple, stretching across the sky like spilled paint. I sit on the porch with a glass of water, watching the light fade. Somewhere Caroline is watching the same sunset, carrying the weight of what she destroyed. I don't wish her harm. I don't wish her anything. The $200,000 is gone forever. The marriage is over. The future I imagined evaporated like morning fog. But I'm still here. Still standing. Still breathing. Bailey calls. She got accepted into an advanced accounting program. Full scholarship. She's crying with joy. I couldn't have done this without you, Dad. You did it yourself, sweetheart. I'm just proud to be your father. When we hung up, I realized something. The bond fund disappeared. The money vanished. The life I built crumbled. But I didn't. And in the end, standing here on this small porch in front of this small house with my daughter's success ringing in my ears, that's all that matters. I survived. And survival, I've learned, is its own kind of victory.